Move on to, that's well explained. Let's move on to your next argument in your press release. We're going to deal with them and then look at what they responded. You said in the last 3 months, government pricing structure have imposed you, the OMCs, to bankruptcy losses if you continue for another month.
Yes.
Of course, that's basically what you have.
That's basically what I've said. And what I mean by the bankruptcy,
yeah,
all these losses. Now, I'll give you one classical example.
Yeah.
For example, when you raise those past LCs that are now numbering to 5, between 3 to 5 LCs, amounting to millions of dollars, laying in those banks. During the time you were raising those LCs, maybe the dollar was 53 or 52.
Yeah.
Now today, those LCs are still not clear.
Clear.
And the dollar is now at 62.
And they will have to be cleared at the current rate.
Exactly. Now tell me, if you have a $21 million of LC areas,
Yeah.
apply that with a difference of $8.
That will be colossal.
It's a
amount.
bankruptcy.
Ah,
It's a catastrophe.
So this is what you mean by your number 2.
Exactly.
Number 3, I took 4. In addition, these pricing structures have been such that government only cares about recouping as much revenue as possible from the amount it claims to have subsidized in recent months. In their effort to do this, they are putting at risk the continuity of business in the sector. For example, in October, government price structure for gas oil, the margins for the importer is $2.60 per liter. The margin for oil marketing was 5.5. But why do you come to all this when government says they are doing a lot of subsidies so that I and somebody else in the street can get fuel cheaply from your stations? So with all the subsidies that government said they are doing, you are saying that they are recouping, so to speak, in your own language, as much revenue as possible from this. How?
That language is well measured. Because what we mean by that, yes, with all fairness, Lamin, we have to be honest.
Yeah.
Government has made efforts during the peak of the crisis.
And they said you hardly mentioned this in your press release.
I'll come to that. In the peak of the crisis, they have made efforts to make life easy. But what they are also missing is the efforts we've also made. You know, if we are partners, you don't always say me. You say we. It's fair enough, right?
Yeah.
I'll give you a classical example. When the crisis, these issues have been dragging on way back in October last year.
Yes.
That is when we had the force crisis linked to the GAM petroleum shortage.
Yes, that's right.
There was a shortage in the country. Everybody was panicking.
Exactly.
And then we rushed to Senegal, source fuel, to make sure that we keep those pumps dispensing. And then when we did that, there was no profit, to be honest with you. All we are focused on is to bring the product. If we can get our cost only, that's fine. We did that for the sake of the country. And that went on, no profits. Then, after that, this crisis was wrapped around that thing. And then fuel prices were supposed to be going upward. But appeals were made to keep it steady. We did. To do that, it was our margins from the importer to the dealer's margin, to the exchange rates, to the LCs, that were cut here and there to make up for little difference that will be kicked out there. Government also said, okay, to meet you halfway on that, if we are to receive $2 for tax, or let's say $15 for tax, we'll forgo 5 and take 10. Or we'll forgo 7 and take 7. Sometimes in the middle of the Ukraine crisis, when matters become so bad, you know, it is true, they were foregoing a lot of tax to make sure, but not to us actually. They're foregoing that so that these prices can be affordable. But on top of that, we've also cut and slashed all our margins. At some point, there was this one margin that the importers, that's the only margin the importers take as a profit, if you want to call it that way, or as a cushion. It's called the importer margin. Was slashed from 105 to $40 per ton. How many percent How many percent slash is that? It's a lot.
70%.
So that's how much we've also been giving. But they've never talked about this. So this, when we put the numbers together of how much we've sacrificed,
Yes.
we checked it as a group.
Yeah.
We realized that the OMCs alone have also subsidized close to $400 million.
Close to?
$400 million.
The government said they are in
1.2. But for us as a sector alone,
yes,
we are all to give that out. And that doesn't take into account of the losses of the differentials in the dollar rate, which has been a lingering problem.
I see.
If we have to add all that there, we're very close to what they are quoting.
I see.
So this is the problem. So we happily did that at the time because it is our nation, it is our country. We have to be fair to each other, and we.
So basically, you said they get $17.99 per liter. You get only 78 buduts.
That's how bad this October price structure is, and that 78 buduts is not inclusive of our running costs, which is huge. Salaries will come out of that. Energy bills will come out of that. You know, to keep up the standards set up by the regulators will come out of that, and other regulatory fees, and name them. It's not even covered.
I see.
And not to talk of the elephant in the room, the losses on Forex that we are facing on our back LCs and the penalties. We didn't even add that. So if you put all these things, we are in the negative. There's no 78 bureaus.
And they are saying you